One lady octane, no knocks, always saying, get that gasoline. Get that gasoline. Oh, baby, get that gasoline. Get that gasoline. Baby, your restroom sure are clean.
Hey, bud, could you check the oil?
I got a new black Superstock, the Milva 426. Torsioned up six in front, low and back with cheater slicks. Got a beefed up automatic and it blows off the sticks. When I power break it up, I don't spin with my slicks. They're cheater slicks. Yeah. They're two big black beauties and when it's wet they spin. But on a dry highway, they really start to digging in. Now, I never start to panic when I smell a butyl burn, cause my slicks are digging in and I really start to turn. Turn on, baby. Yeah. Black beauties and when it's wet they spin. But on a real dry highway they really dig in. Now I said I don't panic when I smell a butyl burn, cause my slicks are digging in and I really start to turn. Turn on, baby. They're always telling me I'm cheap, you know what I mean, yeah. I'll race a 409 or 413, a big 425. I'll beat them all because there's nothing, Jack. I got my big 426 coming on strong, and everybody knows.
Here we go now. We're gonna drive them home, you guys. Here we go. That's right. Again. Bye-bye.
Hey, hope you enjoyed the fleet, and I'll see you guys and folks on the list.
front electrical harness. Takes care of the headlights and everything. Alright, let's see what we got. Not bad. The whole reason for having this puppy is I need that. I need the disc brakes. I need the big block K member here. And I need them torsion bars for the big engine I'm going to put in it. And of course this thing is thrashed on the current car. And so is that inner fender where it got wrecked. So I got to change that too. Oh, let's see. This is all the shit that fell out of that fender when it was opened up. What a mess. And I'll try to take all this junk, except for the leaf springs, down to the deal tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get something for it. From out of here. I already have the center console. And we don't need the glove box. But this is interesting. Map light. I'll have to find a place for that. Right next to the ashtray. Right next to the speaker switch right there. For the rear, I won't need that. And really, that just about does it. What a mess. And the gas tank. In bad shape. Yeah?
Just checking on you.
What'd you think I was doing? I just want to get a look at the destruction. Not you, honey. Okay.
Film that with a disco running in the background, right?
Hey, yeah, it sounds good. That's not disco. That's retro 70s action. Huh? I'm too busy taking pictures of my junk here. Okay, Billy. Yeah, let's see what you're doing, man.
He's getting dirty.
Yeah. There's nothing professional at work.
Show me one. Where's the air wrench?
That's one. Sometimes I wish I had a little compressor. That'd make life a lot easier.
I said, where's the bone wrench?
But that also.
Well, one less challenger in the world, man. Makes all the others more valuable. Oh yeah, that looks beautiful. It's what we call Bill's T-top service. Oh, that's sweet.
We'll work on the other side now.
Yeah. Impress me. That thing cuts down rather quickly.
Yeah. It can work pretty easily. The back quarter is about the worst part. That's not the worst.
No, it ain't mine either.
I've got a 69 Charger RC running up and down the street.
Smile, man. Oh, cool. A commercial.
This is Trevor Rogers, up in Nova Scotia. My brother and I are going to show you a couple segments on our Mopar collection. What we have here, this is my car. It's a 73 Plymouth Duster. It started out life as a slant 6 grocery getter, but I did a little work to it to make it a little more exciting. It's a 360 4-speed car now. I just finished a motor job when I put a few goodies in the engine. It's a 360 block with stock pistons. I use sealed power rings and bearings, a 284-degree duration cam. Got headers, 340 high-rise intake, and a thermoquat to top it all off. Orange box ignition. It's a 14-second car. It works pretty good. It's GLH turbo. It's pretty much, well, it's entirely bone stock. We just got it a short time ago. We haven't had a chance to really do any modifications to it, but other than a body job, I'm looking at tuning up the motor a little bit. It's in fair condition. It's got some rust rot, but the price was right and the engine's good. It's got low miles and it's very fast.
Hiya, I'm Greg Hamilton from Amherst, Nova Scotia. This is my old beast sitting in the Rogers Brothers yard right now for stripping. We got the motor out of it a couple of weekends ago and it's going in my next project car, which is a 1980 Chrysler Corvette. It's interesting, I've seen some stuff on the list this last week. This is October 22nd. A boat dropped the 360s in the Chrysler Corvette. This is a 1980, the 80 body stock. I think it should work pretty good because it used to haul this thing around pretty good. It had a 360 core barrel, modified, a few little tricks and odds and ends done to it. And it actually was about 3 1/4 horse, and I discovered that when you put 3 1/4 horse in a 15-year-old car with kind of a soft frame, it rips them in half. So that's why I kind of given up on this. It was a 79 original RT. It's kind of a shame it wasn't in a little better shape because they're a little bit hard to come by. But we'll strip it for all the goodies anyway. And I don't know, I guess that's about all I have to say.
What you just saw was my 1972 Dodge half-ton. It's had a pretty hard life, as you can probably imagine. It's got a 364 barrel police car motor, 727 automatic transmission, and it works good. It's not much to look at, but it's always starts. It's good and reliable, and it puts up with probably more than the average amount of abuse. And that's her. See you again next year. Goodbye from me and goodbye from him.
Plowman. Been a MML member for about 2 years now, and I got about 10 minutes before I have to be at work, and this is supposed to be the last sunny day we're going to get, so I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick little tour here. I can go ahead and get the GTX a little later today because it's up in a lighted garage. So let's start off here first. This is my 1952 Plymouth Cambridge. I got this summer from my great grandmother. Car's been sitting for about 11 years, and we got it started and running this summer, but the brakes are shot, all the seals are dried out, and the pedal just goes right to the floor. It's got 21,000 miles on the clock. It's got the straight flathead 6 in it, 3-speed on the column, and it's got some pretty tall gears in the back. Here's a shot right here of the motor. As you can see, it's pretty simple, straightforward stuff. This is the inside of it. It's been repainted once by my one of my uncles about 13 years ago. Paint's still holding up fine. The paint was originally green. This shade of green is real close. The original shade of green is like an army green almost. This is a 70 Dodge Dart. It's got a 318 in it, automatic, factory air, power steering and power brakes. I bought the car about 4 years ago now, for $200, and the fellow went ahead and told me that it just stopped running. And of course I went up there and fiddle-farted with it for a little bit, and it turned out that it just needed a timing chain. So I put a timing chain, gears, and a water pump on it, drove it home. Since then I've put tune-up kit on it, and carburetor rebuild, a radiator, and I had to put a fuel tank in it because the other one rusted out. And that's about it. I got this set of rallies here for it, and I got one of the sport hoods on the front, which is a real hood off a 340 car. I got them garbage tires up on the front because the front end is still a little worn out, and I don't want to cut up my new tires. And as you can see, that one's just sort of developed a flat. I lose a piece of it just about everywhere I go. Car's pretty straight. The interior's real nice. Let's go ahead and there you go. That's a 318 for you. got a new dash pad for it. All the door panels and whatnot in this car are just absolutely perfect. No tears in them, no breaks in them or anything like that. The front seat's only busted up where you sit down on it. The backs are fine, and the backs and the back seats are fine. Like I said, it's a 1970, just like the one behind me here. It's got a slant 6 in it. It's got about 180,000 miles on the body. The engine was rebuilt about 60,000 miles ago. It's got the 904 trans and the little light duty rear. It was originally factory yellow. My mom bought the car in 1971 for her daily driver, and she bought it used for $1,300. It's donated to me when I got to be the age of 16, and I've had it ever since. Well, haven't seen before, I'm sure. There's a slant 6 for you. It has air conditioning in the car. The power brakes aren't on this car, and it's got power steering. The air conditioning is Chrysler AirTemp add-on air. It was added on by the dealer. It wasn't installed factory. I'm still working the bugs out of it, but seeing how it's about 14 degrees out here right now, I don't think I'm going to need it for a little while. As you can see, nothing to it. Not much else to show you folks. You've seen everything. There's a little clip of the Buick there. That's one of my other rides. And I'm going to go ahead and get my keys out of the garage here, and I'll take you up a little bit later today, and we'll go ahead and see the GTX. Here we go. Here's the 68 Plymouth GTX. It's been in the family for about 5 years now, and I bought it, put 12 miles on it, took the thing all the way apart. Been working on it ever since. It's painted UU1, which is frost blue metallic. It's a really neat color. It's very close to B5 blue. This has the original 440 engine in it, numbers matching engine, transmission. It's got the same rear in it. The build dates match on that. It's got 61,000 miles on the clock. The engine's been out of the car once. The fellow who had the car before me put a purple shaft cam in it, Hemi grind I believe. Polished the crank, put new rings in it. Car here, when I got it, had a rusted out trunk floor. It was completely untouched, except for the drivetrain. Really just the motor. Everything else was left alone. Primer spots on it and whatnot. Typical. But the trunk floor was rotted out. There was a big old hole right there, right up where the spare tire mount is. And I bought this floor pan. It's a two-piece floor pan. It went in 2 halves, split right up the middle. And the fellow who did the body work for me used lead to cover all the non-factory seams. And I think he did a real nice job. I'm real happy with it. It's a little dusty in there. I got some compound dust from polishing it. You can see it all in the liner there. Okay, here's take a look up the side of the car here. Here you go. There's a good shot. I'm getting pretty excited about getting this back on the road and playing with it. I had the bottom of this car detailed. It was sandblasted on a body dolly. Let me go ahead and bend down here. Take a look. I know the springs in the axle are supposed to be a natural color, but I painted them semi-gloss just to keep them nice and fresh looking. Car was never factory undercoated. It was a good and a bad thing. It was a good thing because it didn't make for a difficult job to do the bottom side of the car, But then again, this car was a very low mileage piece, so it didn't get a lot of rust under there either. I didn't have to replace any floor pans in this car, just the trunk. I did put 3M undercoating in just the wheel wells on the car. Okay. All the new chrome, door handles. Some of that stuff is year one stuff. Here's the interior. 150 mile an hour speedometer, no tack. Although I might put one in there. Center console, bucket seat car. Decent door panels. Still putting it together. As you can see, there's the original floor. No rust in there. I put a little bit of that Pour 20 stuff on some of the surface discoloration, but it's real nice. It's my little $150 bullet turn indicators. Those have to go on with the fenders off the car. I couldn't believe it when I found that out, but it's the way these particular ones are on there. There's the 440. The engine block and heads and everything was painted orange when I got it. I put it back to the correct turquoise flavor. Those are just some temporary valve covers I have put on there for dry firing this thing and priming it and getting it started. The other ones are being chrome plated right now, the factory original ones. One down here, the other side of the car. There's the factory H-pipe in the corner there. I covered it with Eastwood stainless steel coating. Here's a better shot. Here's the tailpipes. That's what they look like. They're the original tailpipes. I couldn't believe none of that stuff was rusted out. But it's pretty good shape there. What else we got? Here we go. Here's some finished panels. I've been picking these up at Carlisle and whatnot, spare parts. I'm sure Hemi can appreciate having an extra one of these around. They are real tough to detail and get clean looking. Full of that argent silver. The red that's in the middle of them is actually a tape stripe. The edges of the letters are all chromed and then filled in with black. And that's about it. That's the GTX. Anybody got any parts they want to sell? Or any tips on what you see here for me? I'd appreciate it. This is pretty much my first real restoration that I'm doing. And I'm taking my good old sweet time on it. I'd really like to step it up a little bit, but I don't want to rush stuff. Up here into this mess is, here's the wiring harness, the engine wiring harness. This is what I got to finish putting together before we can go ahead and get it started. Got some of the, most of the stuff's labeled. I know where it all has to go back. Nothing y'all haven't seen before. And that's about it. That's the show. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. And a safe New Year. And I'll see y'all on the MML. Take it easy.
Welcome to Fort Collins, Colorado. This is Gene's segment of the videotape. And here we are looking at my most recent car addition to my stable. It's my 66 Plymouth Satellite that I picked up at an insurance auction. I've done a little bit of work to it since I picked it up. The biggest thing that you can see is the driver's quarter panel has been replaced. No, actually it's not done yet, it's just kind of hanging on there, but that's off a 67 Belvedere, straightest thing I could find in Colorado. Notice I've got a little rally wheel sitting on there right now. the previous owners decided that they didn't need to tighten lug nuts and drove the car until that tire came off, and it just crumpled up the original quarter panel. Other than that, this car is very straight, and I kind of consider myself lucky to have gotten it out of that insurance auction. It's got a Polysphere 318, which I believe is the original engine, and it's got a 4-barrel carburetor and manifold on it that I believe somebody in previous owner decided to stick on there. I think these were only 2-barrel cars. They came from the factory with the 318, the old style. Just yesterday I picked up some new turn signal lenses for the grill. They're looking pretty sharp. They're not too bad. They're a lot better than what was in there before, which was basically nothing. Unfortunately, the car has a salvage title, which means that I need to get a state police inspection before I can put it on the road again.